Helena Christensen was never the loudest supermodel of the 90s, but somehow she was always there, everywhere, in campaigns, on the runway, and in iconic fashion images that still feel so relevant now. And yet she's not always the first name people say. And I've always found that really interesting, because when you really look at her career, she really helped define the feeling of it. Helena didn't arrive into the 90s the same way some of the other supermodels did. She wasn't built around a big personality or a headline moment. It was something quieter than that. There was a softness to her, but also this kind of intensity. And designers really responded to it. So to understand Helena, we have to look a little closer at where she came from and how she moved through that supermodel moment in her own way. Helena Christensen was born in Denmark, with a Danish father and a Peruvian mother, which gave her a look that was distinct and different to what fashion was used to at the time. Her most famous feature is her piercing, almond-shaped green eyes. In the 90s, photographers used her eyes to create a look that was both mysterious and high intensity, making her a favourite for moody, cinematic shoots. She actually started out winning Miss Denmark in the mid-80s at age 17, which isn't always something people associate with the 90s supermodels, but it did open the door for her internationally. In 1987, Helena moved to Paris to give full-time modelling just a one-week trial, but within that first week she was already being optioned by Karl Lagerfeld. Lagerfeld was immediately obsessed with her look, and he basically took her under his wing from day one. It's so wild to think about, but her very first modelling campaign was for Chanel in 1990, followed almost immediately by a campaign for Karl's own namesake brand. Most models spend years trying to get a foot in the door at that level, but Helena started right at the top. Her relationship with Karl wasn't just the typical model-designer dynamic. They formed a really deep personal bond that lasted for decades, all the way until he passed away in 2019. If there was one definitive moment that transformed Helena from a successful model into a global icon, it was Chris Isaak's Wicked Game music video. Filmed on a beach in Hawaii, the video was directed by the legendary Herb Ritts, who is famous for that high-contrast, black-and-white aesthetic. The video remains a total masterclass in minimalist, high-impact cinematography, and it's still cited today as one of the sexiest videos ever made. While the video looks like a bit of a tropical dream, the reality behind the scenes was far from glamorous. That tropical water was freezing, and the black lava rock she had to roll around on was incredibly sharp, to the point her legs were actually bleeding by the end of the shoot. It's a great example of how much work goes into creating that effortless supermodel image. She managed to look completely at ease in the environment, all while dealing with the physical grit of the location. In 1999, Helena did something that was pretty unheard of for a supermodel at the time. She moved from the front of the camera and co-founded Nylon magazine and became their original creative director. It was about that intersection of indie music, street style, and art. Even though she eventually stepped away from the magazine, it proved she had a sharp creative eye, which paved the way for her success as a professional photographer. Helena has famously said that working with the best photographers in the world felt like being in the best photography school. That education eventually led her into a second, highly respected career behind the lens. Her style is defined by a sense of raw emotion and a kind of ethereal, vintage edge that you don't see very often. Her photography has been featured in all the big magazines, and she's photographed fellow icons like Liv Tyler and Kate Bosworth. Expanding her career further, in 2025 she took on the role of Global Artistic Director for the Danish interior brand Beau Concept, where she oversees all their major campaigns and photography. In 1999, Helena did something that most people assumed was a full stop. She announced her retirement from the catwalk. With the birth of her son, Mingus, she wanted to step away from the manic, grueling travel schedule of full-time runway modelling to focus on motherhood and her photography. She was definitely going to be missed by the fashion industry because Helena was truly indispensable. She had this unique, exotic look paired with a confident, effortless presence that was impossible to ignore. Her style was always noted for its understated grace. It felt natural, never forced, but with a liquid-like movement to her walk. So let's close this video out by going back to Helena at her peak. A true masterclass in movement, sophistication, and that iconic silent cinematic intensity. Here is the definitive compilation of Helena Christensen on the Runway.
Outside my kitchen window, there's a happy parade. Confused as the question lingers, should I join them today? Am I allowed to pretend I'm good for a while? I put glitter in my eyes so they look all full of life. 'Cause I wanna participate in the happy parade. I'll slap a smile across my face, get some sun on this pale skin, feel the freckles form as I'm giving in. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. Ha ha, I laugh beside them like it's all that I know. What lies behind this moment is a story best kept untold. Cause I wanna participate in the happy parade. I'll slap a smile across my face, get some sun on this pale skin, feel the freckles form as I'm giving in. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. Cause I wanna participate in the happy parade. I'll slap a smile across my face, get some sun on this pale skin, feel the freckles form as I'm giving in. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. By my kitchen window, there's a happy parade. Confused as the question lingers, should I join them today? Am I allowed to pretend I'm good for a while? I put glitter in my eyes so they look all full of life. 'Cause I wanna participate in the happy parade. I'll slap a smile across my face, get some sun on this pale skin, feel the freckles form as I'm giving in. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. That's how I'm fitting in the happy parade. Ha ha, I laugh beside them like it's all that I know. What lies behind this moment is a story